Hi friends, it's time for That's Life with Julie. And on this first day of the work week, and as we're moving into Thanksgiving and then going into Christmas, I thought I would just start with just a full frontal confession here, okay? Just, everything is just right, it's out. We'll just put it out there between you and me, because that's the whole point of doing these videos. It's the whole point of life, It's in walking alongside one another as we're learning to follow hard after Jesus. So here is where I am. I have been acting, I confess, quite like a toddler of late in some of this area of faith. Now, here's the dealio. There are a couple of areas in my life that just have me I'm kind of stymied in that area. It's kind of like I'm in a rut, and I know I don't have control of it, and by and large I'm okay with that, and I'm not really worrying about it, it's like those areas are okay, and I've talked to God about those areas, and those are okay. But here's the deal, that God has been impressing upon me, Julie, I want you to speak well of my name. I want you to worship me. And it's like something inside of me has just been refusing to do that. I mean, how awful is that? I mean, that's seriously. I mean, I'm like, follow hard after Jesus, but I'm not going to say anything. It's like a toddler, when you have a 2 or 3 year old and they get a really nice gift, or you're leaving your parents and you're like, hey, tell Nana goodbye. And they're like, and there's a thing in you and you're like, tell Nana and Papa that you love them. And you can just, they're just determined they're not going to do it. I've been acting like that. It was like this aha that I had a couple of days ago. And even when I had the aha, I didn't stop acting like that until this morning, when I thought, this is enough. It is time for you to grow up, Julie. Now, I'm not just making this stuff up, all right? I don't just think of things to feel bad about or like faux sins to come up with. I actually read in the book of Hebrews, and it nailed me. It pinpointed exactly what the Spirit of God has been saying to do that I have stubbornly refused to do. All right, and here we go. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 15. Through him then let us continually offer up a sacrifice of praise to God, that is the fruit of lips that give thanks to his name. That's what God's been telling me to do. Give thanks to my name. And I haven't done it. It's like I've done everything but. I turned on the radio. Oh, I'll listen to K-Love, and, I'll listen to others give thanks to your name. Hey, watch what I can do, God. I can read my Bible. Look, see, look. I read what other people have said. Praise to your name. Look. Is that okay? Is that good enough? I mean, I've done everything but. All right. I don't know, other than I'm weird, and other than I think it is just that natural resistance that draws up within me and my flesh. The Bible refers to it as our old man, who we were before Christ, that it's a constantly dying to the old man, the flesh and our nature and our humanity. All right, that's part of that whole process of following Jesus. It's called sanctification, and how God's holiness is being made in us, and we're taking on his righteousness, and all those really big words. All right, but it comes down to obedience, and I just simply have flat out refused to do that. So again, this morning I'm like, enough of this, Julie. You're not playing games with this anymore. You're going to worship him. If it's the last thing you do. So I go to the book of Psalms, excellent book to go to when you know that you need to worship God and you're kind of like not coming up with your own things, So I went to Psalm 136. I actually found it after I'd bopped around a few other places. And I had it highlighted, but you know what? Again, it's one of those where I'm like, I wonder when I actually read this. And it goes a little something like this. You're going to hear something over and over. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his loving kindness is everlasting. Give thanks to the God of gods, for his loving kindness is everlasting. Give thanks to the Lord of lords, for his loving kindness is everlasting. To him who alone does great wonders, for his loving kindness is everlasting. To him who made the heavens with skill, say it with me, for his loving kindness is everlasting. That is giving praise with my lips. That is a sacrifice of praise. And I think it's pretty sad at times that here I sit in my nice comfortable house with my nice comfortable world and my food over here on the counter and my little remnants of Christmas decorating, and I have acted like a 2-year-old and giving a sacrifice of praise with my lips. God forgive me, but I don't think I'm alone. And I don't believe that I have been banished to the utter depths of outer hanging out with Godness. All right. It's all part of what makes me come back and say, Lord, I need you, and I need your word and the power of your word, and I certainly need you to help me be obedient in all things. So I want to encourage you to go to Psalm chapter 137, and I want to encourage you to write some of your own verses. Make those statements about give thanks to God. Give thanks to God who healed Patrick from his apnea, for his loving kindness is everlasting. Give thanks to the King of Kings, who has provided shelter for you and your family, for his loving kindness is everlasting. And make it, personalize it, and force yourself, make yourself in obedience to speak praises in that sacrifice of worship to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. I will talk to you guys later, and that's Life with Julie.